Hey there everybody, I'm David. Today I wanted to do a quick tutorial on how to disassemble and clean one of my favorite pieces of equipment here, the AR style rifle. I just recently had a chance to do a lot of shooting with mine, so it's dirty and it needs to be taken care of. So in this video we'll show you how to do a field level disassembly, cleaning, and reassembly. I'm not going to go into taking it all apart because I'm not an armor and I'm not a gunsmith. I just want everybody who might want to use one of these to know basically how to clean it, how to take it apart, and what some of the pieces do. So let's get started. First we're going to start with disassembly. For storage purposes, I always keep my rifle on fire with the trigger squeezed. This takes unnecessary pressure off the spring that holds it. So we'll do a quick functions check, make sure it's safe to handle. Now we can start taking it apart. First thing to do is use these two takedown pins, push them through from this side, and then pull them out from this side. Pulling out the rear one will give you kind of a hinge effect. Pulling out the forward pin will separate the two halves. Just like so. Alright, so the only thing to worry about with the lower receiver is to make sure you can pull out the buffer and the spring assembly. This can be tough if you don't know what you're doing. And it's been a while since I've done mine. I've seen many a soldier lose their front teeth to this thing popping out too fast. So be careful when you take yours out. Don't let it do it right in front of your face. That's really all the disassembly you need to do. Everything else is pretty well accessible. If you need to clean under the trigger, we switch it back to fire and squeeze the trigger and it'll clean under the hammer mechanism. So we'll set that aside for now. The next part is removing the bolt and the bolt carrier assembly. To do that, we'll pull back on the charging handle and it'll bring back the bolt and the carrier assembly. Remove that and we'll set that aside for now. Then you've got to remove the charging handle by moving it down and then pulling it out the rest of the way. Now you can see through the chamber, through the barrel. I'll give you a view of that in just a minute. So here's just a quick view of what it looks like to look down the barrel and see light coming in through the other side. And then here's the chamber illuminated so you can see what it looks like. Bolt carrier assembly. This is the carrier. This guy right here is the bolt. And this part moves back and forth to help chamber and lock around. First thing to do to get it disassembled further is to remove this retaining pin. Little cotter pin looks like that. It's held in by friction. Make sure not to lose it. You're going to need it when you put this back together. Now, the firing pin will come out. Looks like this. It'll be dirty till we clean it. Next thing we do is remove the bolt carrier pin. Make sure it's to the rear position. Rotate it quarter turn and pull this pin out. That's going to help you remove the bolt from the bolt carrier. Bolt carrier is set aside. Then we have one more pin that needs to come out. This is the extractor pin right in there. Sometimes it's tough to get out. You can use your firing pin to push it one way or the other. However, it may take a pair of pliers to be able to get that little bugger out of there. Don't lose that one. Your weapon will not fire without it. Most commonly lost piece, if I recall. Then this part is your extractor. This is the part that actually grabs around and pulls it out of the chamber and throws it outside. So you can chamber a new one. And then you'll also need your tiny little spring that goes along with the extractor. So these three pieces are your bolt when they're all reassembled. Now we'll get into cleaning and we'll see how it goes. The real key to cleaning here is to remove as much of the carbon as you can. Every time you discharge a round, the black powder in the round creates a carbon buildup on all the working, moving pieces of the firearm. So the really good way to get it clean is to remove all that carbon so the moving pieces still move and the stationary pieces stay stationary. You'll be able to see it because it'll discolor any metal that it's on, and just about any kind of weapon cleaner will help get rid of it, any kind of solvent. Once it's all clean, put it all back together, give it a quick check, make sure it still works. On safe, squeeze the trigger, nothing happens. On fire, squeeze the trigger, hear the hammer drop. Charge it again. On fire, squeeze the trigger, hear the hammer drop. Charge it again. On safe, squeeze the trigger, nothing happens. Alright everybody, well I hope that helps. That's my quick take on how to do an AR style rifle. Quick disassembly at the field level and cleaning and reassembly and a functions check. Hope you liked this video. I hope you found some useful information. If so, please give me a like and a subscribe. And we'll see you for the next one. Thanks very much.